Jones. Tonight, a look at the woman most likely to become Australia's first female Prime Minister. With the sudden and dramatic decline in Kevin Rudd's fortunes, there's a lot of speculation about when, not if, Julia Gillard will succeed him. Our Australian Story profile of Julia Gillard in 2006 produced some unique insights from those closest to her. Insights even more relevant in the light of her situation today. While the people in that inner circle are now maintaining a discreet silence, there are others quite ready to speak for this updated profile of the woman well poised to make Australian history.
A new opinion poll has bad news for the Prime Minister as MPs return to Canberra for the budget sitting of Parliament.
Leading the news this morning, a poll shows that the Rudd government would lose an election if it was held today.
Julia, no Deputy PM has ever not eyed off the Prime Ministership, and the polls for the Prime Minister at the moment are diabolical, worst they've ever been. Surely you must be looking at that top seat.
I'm really passionate about what I'm doing now.
This period is the most critical period for Julia Gillard, the run-up to the federal election, considering she's been painted with this view that she is the Prime Minister in waiting.
She's a very formidable political operator. Rudd seems to have lost a lot of the gloss very quickly. I hope that doesn't happen to Gillard.
I think Australia will only reach its full potential as a nation when we are able to say we've had a woman as Prime Minister of our country.
What we'd like to know from you is, do you think she'll be the next Prime Minister?
She's a fantastic Deputy Prime Minister, and she's going to make a fantastic Prime Minister as well. One day. One day. One day. Modern Australian politics has become so much more about spin, and Rudd's the champion. He's a grand champion of that. I never thought Julia would quite become that. I always thought she was too passionate about working people's rights.
She's authentic, she's real, and that level of communication enables an engagement with the Australian people.
She's been enormously successful at deflecting criticism against her. Whether voters start looking at her differently and thinking, well, she's great, we wouldn't mind a female Prime Minister, but, well, she has stuck a few things up.
In politics, people love you to stand up for what you believe in. I think there's a void of that in Australian politics.
It's really important that the community understand.
Hey, now enjoy yourselves.
Thank
And
you.
help yourselves, right? Mr. Speaker.
Julia's always been close to her family. They are really a unique family. I think they're probably the one huge influence on Julia. Very decent people. The values that Julia has about working people is no doubt in my mind comes from both her mum and dad.
I welcome Julia today back here. It's always wonderful to have Julia because we don't see enough of her. We all acknowledge she's a workaholic, but it is lovely to be together.
We know where this ends. My family are Welsh. Both mum and dad were born in Wales. I was Julia from Julia. I was a very robust child. Julia, on the other hand, was fine when she was born, but she contracted a lung infection and was in an oxygen tank for about 2 weeks.
The great fear was that she'd end up with irreparable lung problems.
When she got to about 3, I happened to say to the doctor, will she be able to go to school? And he looked at me and said, no. And I said, why? He said, because you're not able to go out in the very, very cold weather. So I said, what am I to do? And he said, take her to a warmer climate. So we decided we'd go to Australia. My sister Alison is 3 years older than me. She was 7 when we migrated. I was 4.
I guess I was naughtier, I think, than Julia, and not as timid.
Alison's life has been very different to mine. I mean, I've been involved in student politics. I've seen a lot of
trade union politics as an industrial lawyer. And Alison left university. She didn't complete her degree. She met Paul, who is her lifetime partner, and had Jenna and Tom quite young. That's been the focus of her life. I'm comfortable with what I've done. She's comfortable with what she's done. And I suspect if I'd been a boy and Alison had been a girl, people would have said almost that's the natural order of things. I'm wearing the bag, so I'm wearing it on my sleeve. It's always sort of slightly surreal still when you see your sister talking on the television. It's very exciting, and I still get a real buzz out of it.
You can't protect her and yell. You can't protect her and yell. Alligators.
She comes across as being very feisty, pretty sharp and kind of nasty sometimes.
Either put her up and get hurt and make an answer to the case, or shut up.
It's not like that in her day-to-day life. So obviously it's all part of the show that they put on. It's all part of the game. I heard you voted is it Australia's sexiest female politician or something on that website? Yeah, crikey. Kimberly from my office rings up because they told her under an embargo, so she rings me up and says, I don't think you're going to be very happy because it's not your kind of thing and all the rest of it. So she tells me about it, and then she says, but anyway, I don't think it's that sexist because they obviously weren't judging on looks. It's politics, so it's, concessional, not normal looking people. Leighton always used to wander around saying politics is Hollywood for ugly people.
Julia's very easygoing. When something tips up sometimes, look at it. She gets into a temper, just like us people walk in.
Hold on, that's her, don't you? Oh, yeah. Don't you? One of the real reasons I've got involved in politics at all is the sense of unfairness and lost opportunity, particularly to kids.
That's a proud dad.
It does make me, burn with anger that someone like my father didn't get the opportunities he should have had.
It was very hard. I was one of 7 children. My father was a labourer. I had a very impoverished background. Poverty was real to me. It existed. It was my daily life.
He really was very good at school and actually got offered a scholarship.
And my father said, out to work, you're 14, get out to work. And that set up my scholarship.
I always thought this area was huge when I was at school. This opened the foyer bit behind the main door. There's, no way in the world that Mum and Dad could have afforded private school education for Alison and I, so I went to Unley High School. I thought it was huge when I was at school.
Julia could never understand why the girls should stay in class to tidy up, while the boys were just running around and having a good time. So she said to the teacher that it was not fair. Why couldn't the boys do it one week and they do it the next week? He said to her, are you into women's liberation, Julia? She looked at him at the school and said, I don't need women's liberation, I was born free.
Julia was a prefect in school and felt if somebody was getting hard lines, she'd take them under her wing and very gentle, supportive and kind, and often challenged authority.
And so I started mulling over this thought of being a lawyer and put it down on my preference sheet when it came time to filling all that in during the matriculation.
The retiring president of the AUS, Mr. Michael O'Connor.
Probably the first time I met Julia was in the early 80s, so when hundreds of students would come from around the country. She was representing Adelaide University Student Union. There's no doubt she was really articulate.
I don't think there's too much that's more almost irrationally passionate than student politics.
He didn't really want to be arguing a point of view against it if you could avoid an argument with her. She was very serious about winning it.
Local Malacan students are very concerned what's happening with the federal budget.
Michael O'Connor had the most impact on my adult life in the sense that here we all are, 20 odd years later,